Wrote Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Well, I think either Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are one of their
No, sir.
students.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. And no reasonable modern Christian scholar thinks this at all. As a matter of fact, if you here, let me open my Bible. Here's an NIV. So I'm going to open this NIV to the cover page for the book of Matthew. It literally at the
Not.
beginning of the cover sheet for the book of Matthew, it says, although the gospel is anonymous, the early church fathers were unanimous in holding that. In holding that one of the 12 apostles was its author. So this Bible literally says that the book of Matthew is anonymous. It will say the same thing as long as it's covering the best scholarship for each of the other gospels. So you have books that aren't in fact written, or we don't know who they were written by. We have no reason to think that they were actually written by eyewitnesses. However, let's assume that all four gospels were written by eyewitnesses. Would that be enough to prove that somebody rose from the dead? Four people claiming to be eyewitnesses to someone rising from the dead, is that enough?
I would say no, that's not necessarily enough evidence.
Oh, okay. So now we have four accounts. We don't know who wrote them. We don't know if those people are eyewitnesses. Clearly, if four eyewitnesses aren't enough to confirm a resurrection, then four anonymous accounts that may not be by eyewitnesses cannot possibly be enough. So where's the additional evidence that warrants believing that the resurrection occurred? While you're thinking about that, nobody can actually demonstrate that Jesus did in fact exist. And so here you have a system where supposedly there's a God who, as a way to create a loophole for rules that he invented, supposedly comes down as part of his character, takes human form, sacrifices himself to serve as a loophole for rules that he's in charge of, is resurrected a day and a half later, even though they would like to say 3, and then determines to judge everyone based on whether or not they believe and accept this account, and the best evidence that they can point to cannot confirm his existence, cannot confirm any single unique fact about his life, and the resurrection, the single most important aspect of all of this, cannot be confirmed. What sort of idiot God sets up the crux of human salvation on such a flimsy, epistemologically unsound foundation? How dumb do you have to be to not provide better evidence for the most important fact in the entirety of human history if this story were true?